People, deluded. I'm back again as usual. Big up yourselves for tuning back in. Your support to my long-term supporters is always appreciated. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Creative juices are flowing now. Allegedly, Jonas Eidevall has left Arsenal Football Club and departed his role as head coach. Tomiyasu apparently has an injury. Gyokeres keeps scoring, and William Saliba, had a shocker for France. Saliba slips, as you can see in the title. So yeah, man, the best thing I would say to Saliba is one, keep doing that in a French shirt. Don't do that stuff in an Arsenal shirt. And two, I'm gonna give Saliba the benefit of the doubt. He saw the Real Madrid links. He decided to put in a stinker. People, you could count on one hand if that the amount of stinkers William Saliba's had, such as his consistency. So yeah, but we know how rival fans are. You know how social media is. They love Saliba. They would kill to have him. They would sell out their best centre halves for him. But agendas have to agenda if you look at social media. Now, cracking on with things, if I share my screen with you guys, as I just said a few moments ago, Jonas Eidevall leaves Arsenal. Now, last time I checked, Arsenal Football Club in all competitions where the women's team is concerned had 2 wins from 7 in all comps, which is a results-driven business. He needs to go. Personally, I think the tactics were questionable. The use of the players that you had at your disposal and your substitutions and game management, the style of play, all of these things made it, needed to happen. And it felt like this was inevitable. To be honest with you, it felt like this should have happened sooner. And I guess Chelsea, a London rival, put the nail in the coffin. You all would have seen Arsenal's women, unfortunately, lose to Chelsea recently. So, yeah, he's left the job. Obviously, thank you for your service and whatnot. I guess the search for a head coach will continue. Apparently, it says here, the search for a new head coach is underway and will make a further announcement when the process is complete. So, yeah, and at this moment in time, first team assistant coach Rene Sligers, forgive me for mispronunciation, will take charge of the team as interim head coach. And Edu has thanked him for his commitment to the job and what he's done in his short time. Moving away from that, Saliba, now it did look like he slipped against Openda. I do think he had a horrendous kind of game for France based on the highlights. I never watched the game, people, so yeah, it is what it is. And it seems like there's still teething problems between William Saliba and Konate, and that's the next step for Saliba, to put in that level of consistency you see in an Arsenal shirt on a consistent basis for France, in which he's been doing. But yeah, he's being hammered by the French press. You know how the French press get, and he actually got a free, people, courtesy of the game that they recently lost. Apparently, a catastrophic first half from the Arsenal centre-back, penalised for taking out a Pender in his penalty box. He didn't learn from his mistakes in playing the Leipzig centre-forward onside for his equalising goal. I'm sure Konate also played him onside. Still shaky in the second half. So, yeah, get that out of your system, Saliba, and back to business against Bournemouth on Saturday. Apparently, Arsenal are drawing up a new contract for Saliba as they look to stop the French star from even considering a huge transfer to Real Madrid. Feels like 2 minutes ago he signed a new deal. As we know, he's contracted until 2027. We're heading into 2025. So within the next 12 to 18 months, we probably need to be trying to get Saliba down to a new deal. If I'm William Saliba and his advisors, I'm pushing for a 3 to 4 year deal, whether it's a 3-year contract with an option of another year. If you're Arsenal, you want 5. And I only say that because obviously if you're Saliba, Saka, all of these players that are getting better and better, if you sign a 3 to 4 year deal, so a 3-year deal outright, you're always 12 to 18 months away, provided you keep doing what you're doing, from negotiating new terms. A football career is short. You want to win as many trophies, play as many games, get capped as many times by your country as possible, and you want to maximize your earnings, in which Arsenal have. It's like any walk of life, people. If you know your worth to the company and also your worth to the industry, you want to leverage that. Saliba, I've made peace that one day you play for Real Madrid, but we've got some things to achieve here. So yeah, people, I don't think Real Madrid are moving for him in January. I think it'd be the summer at the very least, but they know it will cost a lot of money. Again, it's improbable that he leaves in January, and probably impossible. Apparently, the defender is the fastest player in Arsenal's history to reach 50 Premier League wins, having hit the milestone in only 66 games. And, there was a time where his future looked a bit cloudy at Arsenal under Mikel Arteta. It's fair to say the loan spells that Arteta sent him on and what he's done with him in the last 3 years, including this season, it's all worked out, people. So it would be nice, really and truly, to see him sign a new deal. So yeah, big up William Saliba on that, people. This article has said, given the way Saliba has performed for Arsenal, it always felt like a question of when and not if transfer links over move to Real Madrid would start. We all know he's developed from a promising youngster into one of the best centre halves currently in world football. He was named in team of the tournament at Euro 2024, and he's still only 23, and he is part of a somewhat golden generation. For Arsenal, the looming presence of Real Madrid around Saliba could be intimidating, not least because he'll have 2 years left on his contract next summer. We all know, we've done a good job in tying down new players. We've all seen how it's worked out with Alexis, Ozil, Ramsey, and plenty of others in that regard. Arsenal should have confidence in their ability to keep Saliba because what we're doing. I mean, he is a boyhood Arsenal club fan and looks settled in London. Of course, a football career. He's shown he's lived in Marseille, in Nice, in Saint Etienne. He's come all the way to London. Yes, he's an Arsenal fan, and these are all things, to bear in mind. But it's a job at the end of the day. I would be very wary about taking heed in that, people. Paris Saint-Germain also apparently registered an interest in him. So yeah, hopefully he signs a new deal and we keep it moving. Apparently Real Madrid have actually switched their attentions to Bastoni of Inter Milan, which is music to my ears. Sources have confirmed to Team Talk that Arsenal are seriously concerned Takahiro Tomiyasu suffered a reoccurrence of his knee problem in his short appearance against Southampton, and he could now be out for another month. Now, I love Tomiyasu. I love his versatility. I love, the fact that he can compete for a starting spot or help us see out games, and he makes our squad stronger. But as much as I love Tomiyasu, injuries, and it's frustrating. The availability is clouded, and I wonder how long before Arsenal really lose patience. Now, again, as we head into the Bournemouth game at the weekend, Mikel Arteta undoubtedly is going to be asked on the statuses of the Martin Odegaards, the Timbers, the Benjamin Whites, the Zinchenkos, the Martinellis, the Sakas, and the Tomiyasu. So I want to tread carefully before we see anything in that regard. And also, with the greatest of respect to Team Talk, I don't know if they're the more credible ones, but he needs to be available. And, our depth defensively is really being tested. You have to pray nothing happens to our centre halves. Ben White's got a knock. Calafiori's had a knock already this season. Timber and Benjamin White, forgive me if I'm wrong, they technically missed out of the last game before the international break, or one of the two. And then you throw in Tomiyasu, and even though he's not really relevant to our first team per se, Tierney, there's a lot of injury concerns, and there's probably a bunch of others. So yeah, hopefully he gets over that. Martinelli, as we kind of spoke on, Romano said Arsenal staff in contact with Brazil over Martinelli as he felt pain in his right calf and underwent an MRI on Sunday. Now, with it being Tuesday at the time of making this video, again, surely there's been some sort of new information available to Arsenal on what's going on with Martinelli. He has a small muscle endemia in the area and he's undergoing treatment. So hopefully there's nothing to take heed from. Calafiori, after beating Israel with Italy, said we have to improve on set pieces. I mean, he's been at Arsenal, the set piece kings, for 2 minutes, and he's already saying that. I won't waffle about that, people, but interestingly, he said, nowadays in today's football, even defenders have to contribute to attack, not giving points of reference. That's what I try to do without forgetting to be an attentive defender. I enjoy trying to give an extra solution to the team. I have to improve in this phase. My goal is to be able to do both at a high level. I love Calafiori. I love the signing, and I love the way you speak. He also said the Premier League is a different league in terms of intensity. Every game is heated, even against the smaller teams. If you don't go up by 2 goals, you risk suffering a comeback, as we've seen on a couple of occasions. Intense is the watchword. I try to bring it here to the national team to help them. So yeah, big up Calafiori and keep it going. Rob Jones will be the referee for Arsenal against Bournemouth on Saturday with Jared Gillett on VAR, people. Draw whatever conclusions you wish there. Ademola Lookman is still open for a new challenge in January, and his price could be around 25 to 30 million euros. His current Atalanta contract runs out in 2026. He was someone that was linked with us towards the end of the recent window. Gyokeres was once again on the score sheet on Monday night during Sweden's 3-0 win over Estonia. He's picked up where he left off last season. He's got 12 goals and 3 assists in 11 games for Sporting, and has 4 goals and 4 goals and 3 assists in 4 games for Sweden. I mean, surely he's got a feature high on Arsenal's list of potential strikers for next season. I don't think we sign one in January. And we're going to get to see Gyokeres firsthand, really and truly, when we play Sporting in the Champions League. As you know, he's got a deal until 2028 and apparently has an £85 million release clause in his deal. Apparently, the Portuguese club are willing to be open to listening to offers in the region of 43 million. I don't know if that's true, because in a day and age where you're seeing strikers go that are not really doing what Gyokeres is doing, going for a lot more. Obviously, the Premier League, flushed with cash, and they've got him on a deal until 2028 with a hefty release clause. And, for all the rumors about people being interested, to our knowledge, nobody actually bidded for Gyokeres, but they've got an asset. You know, as you know, you're scratching your head if you really think about how many good number nines are there. There's plenty of number nines that can drop deep and, you know, almost another man in midfield and good link up play. But how many are bringing goals? How many marry the goal scoring and the link up play? He is one of them. You know, whether it's him, Gyokeres, Isaac, Sesko, you know, sorry, Gyokeres, Isaac, Sesko, we need one going into next season, sorry, on top of Kai Havertz continuing doing what he's doing. I wouldn't say Arsenal regret not signing Gyokeres this summer, because I don't think we actually bidded. Maybe the deeper conversation is regretting not signing a striker. So it is what it is. Apparently, Man United have to either sell Rashford or Fernandes to kind of finance an Eze deal. That's irrelevant to us. That's just something I was reading. Eze's been a bit quiet, in my opinion, in the Premier League so far, but he's a talented player and one I'm sure we'd all like at Arsenal. Now, Lokonga, as you know, has signed for Sevilla with an option to buy versus an obligation. And this is where it gets a bit teasing. Apparently, they want to sign the midfielder, people, but they want to actually negotiate lower than the actual purchase option, which is in the region of 12 million euros. Apparently, according to Estalvio Deportivo, reports that while the fee is correct, the La Liga team believe they can secure his services for a lower price. I think he's got a year left on his deal, or just over 18 months. I'm sure he wants to stay at Sevilla. I'm sure he wants some stability. So naturally, I can't begrudge them for playing that kind of game. You know, you'd imagine Lokonga's days at Arsenal are over. Contractually, still technically an Arsenal footballer, but it is what it is. On that note, people, let me know your thoughts on, you know, Arsenal's women coach getting the clip. Let me know how you feel about Tomiyasu. Do you think we should give up on him? Where are you at with Saliba and the Real Madrid links and the new contract links and actually slipping for France? Check out the rest of the other content, people. Make sure you're following on my second channel. All you got to do is check out the description and click the link. Appreciative for the support in the movement. If you haven't hit the sub button, make sure you're doing such, people, because we're getting close to 70k. We're so close, but so far, and I can't do it alone. We're a community here, people. So yeah, you lot stay safe, stay blessed, turn your notification bells on, all that good stuff. Peace. Always